Oh my god.
My computer stopped playing.
Soon this tour will be over.
Like, brr, 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 brr. So, hey, I'm Minty.
Hey, I'm Jekka.
We are two producers who met on internet, and we also create like similar music to each other, which is like electronic, experimental R&B, genre fluid,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, we played some gigs together, and we organized some gigs together, and we vibed, and we decided to create a space for other musicians and for education and knowledge and podcasts and what else?
Yeah, I just think that we kind of realized that we want to share our experience with kind of the wider community and our skills as well, and just, yeah, create a space for collaboration, growth, and making music, basically.
Exactly. And we are here in this beautiful studio, Koi Music. Yeah, we want to organize our workshops here. We're gonna do the podcast here, everything. Later on, we're gonna present you the whole space. So you're gonna see how cool it is.
We both started making music quite a long time ago. Like, do you remember how it happened for you? Like your first song, your first encounter with music production software?
Yes, I remember very vividly because it was the time when I wanted to become independent. You know, I was playing in bands and I was a singer, and I always felt like, everybody does everything for me. And I didn't have this like creative decision. So I started to learn Logic at first. I was in the studio of like one guy who created like a playback for me. I think it was like a Disney song, and that I wanted to sing somewhere at some competition and something. And I just like came there, and he literally like rebuilt this whole song out of scratch. And then I saw that he's doing it, and I was like, I could also do that for my band, at least just to show them what I want musically so they can like play it back, because it was much more fun than just writing sheet music.
Yeah.
And somehow, yeah, I found people who helped me, who installed my first Logic on computer. Then I switched to Ableton, and after my like when I was 18, I finished high school and I bought myself some Ableton online course, and I spent 2 months in my room alone
Yeah.
in summer learning Ableton. Yeah.
That is so nerdy as well.
Yes, 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 yes. But it was worth it. It was great. And what about you?
I started with some weird software called Mixcraft just because, I don't know, I was Googling what kind of software I could use to record something and use like virtual instruments. And at the time, like I tried opening up like Logic and Cubase, and Fruity Loops was also very popular among like beat makers, I guess. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
really know. I didn't have like people around me who were into music making or in from the music scene. So I kind of had to figure it out on my own. And yeah, I came across this weird software, and I remember just like trying to tap some rhythm on my shitty keyboard on my shitty laptop with lots of latency and some like karaoke microphone, or maybe like one of those computer microphones with like
Nice.
an on and off switch. Yeah, and I remember like I tried to kind of get my idea across, and I was like, wow, okay, this sounds kind of interesting, wacky for sure.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know what a metronome was,
Oh yeah, of course.
nor what like quantization or a grid, anything like
Mm.
that. No, I just like pressed record and just played and tried to kind of be in rhythm.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think, and then I started just to like upload those first songs onto SoundCloud way back in 2011. Yeah, I know I sound like a ancient person right
That was
now.
good times for SoundCloud. Everything was, organic. People were
Yeah.
listening to music, no
Hmm.
paid ads. That was actually perfect. And
Yeah.
now we, like
Mm.
it's hard to be discovered.
Yeah, yeah, you have to definitely like break through the noise, through the algorithms,
Yeah. And back then
and
it was just flowing.
yeah, it was really nice. Like I remember SoundCloud had lots of like community groups on there, and you could meet like different people from your own scene. They had these
Mm.
like groups devoted to like different cities like London, Berlin, obviously, and they also had a Moscow one. And I just like shared my stuff on there, and I found like some collaborators, some local, also like, I don't know, young people who made
Mm.
music, and I just kind of sang on their productions. And yeah, it was cool. It was kind of it really felt like some a place where you could find new kind of voices, new
Yeah,
artists.
like a community. Although we
Mhm.
also found each other on TikTok. So
That's true.
TikTok, I
That's
think
true.
it's a new way of discovering like music and
Yeah.
people and community. It's just, hard to jump from one place to another
Mm.
and just like follow up with like the update, what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, these days, like you have to be on, I don't know, a gazillion different platforms to share
Yeah.
your music. And I remember just like when it was, I don't know, SoundCloud, and then there was also, okay, ancient alert, MySpace.
On MySpace. I also been on MySpace. That was where my first band was. It was
Yeah,
MySpace, yes.
exactly. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try uploading stuff on MySpace. But back then, I didn't know anything about recording. But all I remember is that like MySpace became this like popular platform because that's where Adele was discovered.
Oh,
Did you know
really?
that?
No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
she was
Okay.
like she, I think, started putting out just like her songs playing on the guitar
Oh,
on
wow.
MySpace,
No, had no
and
idea.
that's how she was discovered. Or legend has it, we don't know for sure, you know.
But yeah, like Justin Bieber on YouTube. Lots
Yeah.
lots of people were
Mm.
discovered on YouTube. But yeah, yeah. I mean, for
Mhm.
me, it was the same. I literally uploaded my tracks on SoundCloud,
Mhm.
and yeah, the first track I uploaded was also. Uh, I think the first track I uploaded was my piano diploma from my music school because yeah, I played piano for like 12 years of my life in a like
Wow.
very conservative music school, and I had
Mhm.
no childhood and stuff. So, like, for me, making electronic music, it was such a break free.
Mhm.
And yeah, at first I uploaded my first, yeah, like a piano concerto, and somehow it got so popular on SoundCloud, which was like,
Wow. That's freaky.
is yeah, and I think it's still my most listened track ever. Although I don't play classical piano anymore. Maybe I should have become a classical pianist. Like who would have
Yeah.
known? But no, fuck that. But yeah, and the first track I did was literally also like a track, "Goodbye to the Lullaby," which
Mhm.
also pushed my career quite quick
Mhm.
because but yeah, I also did Without a Click. I don't know what's the
Mm.
I mean, maybe I knew, but I forgot that actually you
I
have
mean,
to,
you definitely knew what a metronome
yeah,
was.
of
I
course,
mean,
because I was practicing with a metronome, but while
yeah.
I was um producing, like I forgot that I have to
Yeah.
like, make the music to the grid because I was actually a musician, so I was just
Mhm.
like tapping in
I
everything.
mean, you're like the real professional one.
I mean, yeah, I mean, without the production skills, but I
Yeah.
was tapping, I was
Yeah.
playing, so I like literally just
Mhm.
played everything, but I didn't think I have to, like put it in the grid or something.
Mhm.
And then when I wanted to play it live, it started to be a problem. But yeah, but suddenly I put it on SoundCloud and like it was like a dream.
Mm.
Like some managers write me, "Hey Martina, we like your music. Do you want to work with us?" Like it's a scam. And yeah, and they because of them, I played lots of nice gigs,
Yeah.
and that's how it started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was your first gig like?
Mm. Yeah, and it's a beautiful story. It was in a city called Bytom in Poland, and Bytom is like a middle of nowhere in Poland, in like Silesia, and is very um, industrial coal miner
Mhm.
area. and yeah, it was like on abandoned trailways, and it was some kind of squat. And yeah, somehow somebody booked me there to play. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. But back then my songs weren't finished. Like I had some production done, but I didn't have a lyricist yet.
Love it. Love it.
And so I was singing only in gibberish, like brr, 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 brr. And I played the whole gig. Nobody realized. Everyone was
Wow.
like, Martina, amazing, amazing. Everybody loved it. Like, it sounded a bit like English.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh my God, Amazon, and yeah, but other artists, yeah, one of the guy who played there is like Jakub Gliński. He's one of like the most popular contemporary painters in Poland
Okay.
now. And I remember his performance when he had a canvas and some contact mics underneath,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like he had paint all over his body, and he was just like throwing himself onto this fucking canva, and like it was this kind of whole performance. And after me there was like a guy with like a gas mask playing some noises. And yeah, all of this like community from the squad were like free guns, so food from the trash. But it was very
Oh
delicious
my
and
god.
amazing.
This is sick.
But yeah, it was a beautiful experience. It was my first gig without lyrics, just vibes.
I love it. Like I bet people thought that you were so like conceptual, who
Yeah.
needs lyrics? Like you can make your own language on the flow.
Maybe maybe we should go for it, go back to the roots.
Yeah, I
CTM
mean
would buy it.
sometimes honestly I feel so lazy writing lyrics. And you know how when you start working on a demo and like you have a vocal melody,
Mm.
and it rarely happens with me when I have a lyric like on the fly. And usually I also just sing something gibberish, kind
Yeah.
of kind of like English sounding words, but not really. And it always sounds so good. Like,
Yeah.
the sounds and the words are in the right place, like
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
hit the groove and stuff. And
Mm.
then I'm just so sad when you have to like uh write the real words because it's
Yes.
hard to kind of find the
The same
same.
vibe, the same groove. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could
Yeah.
totally understand. And why we cannot sing in gibberish,
I
people?
mean, there
Why you
were
need the message? Like, just like make it yourself.
I
Like,
mean,
imagine it.
yeah, I mean, I think there were plenty of, artists in the past as well who actually also sang gibberish, like
Mm.
on recorded albums. So, I mean, it can be a thing for sure because,
Yeah, I mean
like,
Rihanna is like, I think she did that, like work, 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 work. I'm running, 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 running,
yeah,
running, running. I was like, it works, and it's like the biggest banger.
yeah.
I think yeah, it's like it's just work, and then it's like some gibberish in between. Yeah,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
and in age of AI, maybe it's gonna be
Yeah.
even more appreciated. Because AI come
Mm.
up with gibberish. We should try this experiment. That would be actually
Yeah, I
interesting.
mean, I think like AI just comes up with the most obvious bad lyrics.
Yeah.
Like they're just so cringe. And I mean, even the cringe lyrics written by a human being are still better, I would
Mm.
say, Because the other day, I was like re listening to this very old band, like pop band from Kazakhstan.
Mm.
And they were playing very like in the 80s 90s they were playing like their music sounded really western. It was kind of jazzy pop, kind of like Jamiroquai-esque.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. And the lyrics there are very like simple. They're
Mm.
about like meeting someone you like, and but they have these kind of like old school metaphors like, oh, your eyes light up my soul, those kind
Yeah.
of things. And I mean, the words are simple, like the metaphors are also quite simple, but it sounds just so, I don't know, true, kind of so
Yeah.
raw and
It
so
depends how
true,
you, yeah,
a bit
what's.
naive even, but
Hmm.
without that kind of, I guess, without it trying to be naive,
Yeah, 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 I
like, yeah.
understand. Yeah, everything depends on the context, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
also depends on music. if it's
Yeah.
good or not,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and yeah, and depends on the emotion.
Like going back to kind of how we started making music, I think there's
Mm-hmm.
like a certain special quality about those first tracks, those first songs that
Ah,
you
yeah.
recorded,
Yeah.
because like they sound like, if you listen to them today, they sound so unprofessional in a way. Like they're
Hmm.
not polished, they're not overly produced simply
Yeah.
because maybe you didn't know all of the things that you know now, and technology wasn't as well good, maybe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But there's some, I don't know, like sometimes once in a blue moon when I get nostalgic or
Yeah.
something and I kind of re listen to some of the first songs that I put out, and they're just all over the place. I mean, the drums might be off, the bass isn't bassing, mixing, what the hell is that? I don't know. Mastering,
Yeah.
never heard of it. The vocals are like drowned in reverb, like heavily.
Yeah.
But I don't know, they sound kind of like from a different, I don't know, from a different like place, from a different universe or something,
Mm.
right?
I
Like,
mean, yeah, it's just like your pure expression, I
yeah, when
guess.
you don't overthink it, right?
Yeah, when you don't
Mm.
overthink it, and like when you're young and you're brokenhearted and you just like
Yeah.
express
Oh my
everything,
god.
like when you get older, I guess, like, the society like forms you a little bit, and you
Mm.
try and you become a little bit more numb. But when you're young and you just like cry out loud, or like you just want to release your anger, and everything is
Yeah.
in this music, and
Yeah.
that's the whole point. So like literally the production always comes second, I would
Mm.
say. The
Mm.
idea comes first.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I think that's important when people start making music,
Mhm.
it shouldn't come from the place like, I just want to make the best sounding clean mix or track,
Yeah. Yeah.
like it should come from this like need to create
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like for what now is mostly virality or being online. At least for me back then, it was like living, like breathing, kind of. You had to get it
Exactly.
out because I don't know, you had a fight with your parents,
Yeah.
or I don't know, you had a boy you had a crush on
Yeah.
and he didn't like you back.
Yeah, asshole.
Oh my god, how many songs I wrote about unrequited love. Ah!
Oh, yeah. I mean, but then you listen to it, it's like, and you feel like you want to, hug your old self. Yeah, and that is
Absolutely,
like beautiful. I
yeah.
was like, oh my god,
Mm.
this. And sometimes I also listen to my old songs, and I literally have goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like, um, and I also don't care about the production, and I feel I was so intuitive,
Mhm.
and it worked, but I met people on my way. Like,
Mhm.
I remember I had like literally also one of my first tracks, and I gave it to mix to
Mhm.
somebody, and one guy said that this track is sucks and it's shit, and
Mhm.
it's like, and he mixed it like so badly that
Oh
when
my
I
god.
when I received it,
Yeah.
I cried because he just literally destroyed it.
Oh
and then
man.
and then he told me that, it's a bad song. And then I found another person who did
Mhm.
that, and it's I still think it's a pretty good song. Like, I
Yeah.
make music for 12 years, and
Mhm.
it was very good. So sometimes you just have to trust your guts, and like
Yeah,
don't listen
absolutely.
to just like, especially older guy, I don't want to, guy
Yeah.
producers who are like, and like when you're a young, fragile, sensitive person, like it can really hurt you.
Tell me about it, yeah.
So when you really teach people, and
Mhm.
this person actually also has a music school now, so which is funny, but I hope he learned his lesson.
Yeah, I mean, people can be really mean to you both online and offline. Like the number of times I experienced like harassment and just like awful behavior and aggression towards myself, like during gigs, especially.
Mm.
Like, I mean, I was, yeah, 20 something. I was like starting out and I was still figuring out how to do my live setup and stuff. and you would get these like sound guys who would try to teach you like
Mm.
something, but in such a way, such a demeaning way, like
Yeah.
you're already like, not worth it, not worth their time. And they would always ask me like, after sound check, oh, like, did your boyfriend produce that? I was so fucking pissed every time
Yeah.
because I mean, I guess back then there wasn't a lot of like solo sort of female singers and producers. So people would generally think that if you when you sing that you're just a singer and someone else
Yeah.
is producing.
Yeah. When I started to create my live set,
Mm,
I was also like, fuck, I have to do everything on my own. I have to, I have to loop
mm,
every single, like part of the
yeah.
track. Like,
Yeah.
okay, the piano, the bass, I have to do
Mm,
the drums, I have to do some samples. So everybody sees that I'm a producer,
yeah.
not
Yeah.
just a singer,
Mhm.
because, yeah, it was important to me.
Mhm.
I never, that's why I started to produce
Mhm.
because I always wanted to be more in control of my music in general.
Yeah.
For you, was it the same?
Yeah, for sure. Like I kind of wanted to, yeah, show that I'm pressing the buttons
Mm-hmm.
in real time. There's no other guy behind me who's doing the
Yeah.
thing. And yeah, at some point I think I overcomplicated my live setup so much that I
Mm-hmm.
just got stressed out during like the live performance. I didn't
Yeah.
enjoy it as much as I could have enjoyed it. And there were so many like situations when I don't know, I had these like opportunities to play at festivals or something. And yeah, and I would like have this live setup with I don't know, I remember one time it was like okay, it was my laptop, it was like a small keyboard, it was a launch pad, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Then I borrowed like an iPad because it had like the music making apps on it, which
Mm-hmm.
I became really interested in. Like, oh my God, making music on an iPad. And to connect all of that, I used like a local Wi Fi router. And
Wow.
yeah, and this was like a big festival, like part of a sort of music competition I won. And I was really, really scared. I think this was like maybe my third live performance ever,
Wow.
and it was like a proper stage. And it was funny because like I didn't expect anyone to go to this stage because it was like one of those
Mm-hmm.
emerging acts stage which nobody cares about basically. But at the time this was happening in St. Petersburg. Like the headliner of the festival was Royksop,
Mm.
and they were
Yeah, they're cool.
supposed to perform, but a storm happened and their stage kind of got moved, like their performance
Yeah.
got moved to a venue somewhere in the city.
And
And
everybody came to you.
yeah, and suddenly like I don't know, like I look up and I see a massive crowd in front of me and I'm like shit. And I was like really nervous, my voice was shaking. I was like, do I remember how to punch, like press all the buttons? And then I remember like at the end I was like um I said something into the microphone. I thought I mumbled it, but it was clearly heard that, oh, soon this torture will be open, like will be over, just a
Yeah.
little bit more.
But you
Man,
managed.
I
But you
managed.
managed. And
Yeah, I
people loved it,
managed.
I heard.
I mean, yeah, someone, yeah, did kind of shout from the crowd, like, oh, come on, keep going, we're here. And I'm like,
Yeah, but sometimes like the audience can be very understanding
yeah.
because I also had
Mm,
a situation which was so creepy. I played my like a first support tour before like
mm,
Polish band Xanax, and we played in like one of the biggest venues. I mean, not like a stadium, but one of the
mm-hmm,
like biggest venues for such tours and bands in Poland.
mm.
And I started to play, and that was the literally the last concert, and my computer stopped playing, just stopped.
Oh my God, that's like the worst nightmare ever.
Yeah, and only my mic was on, and it's like fuck. And then like a drummer of this band like came on stage. Now he's my drummer. That's how we met. That's like,
Wow. Okay.
and he started to play some drum and bass on drums, and I was just like improvising and started to like rap in gibberish,
Yeah.
and people really liked it, and um yeah, and like people were like supportive because I made it through,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. So um yeah, the audience can be
I
like really
mean,
understanding
that's
sometimes.
so brave of you, to be honest, because I
I
all
mean, I shot my pants, of course, but
because like to go on like that as well. I mean, yeah, like I constantly like worry about the fact that, oh my god, what if my laptop dies and I'm
yeah,
like, and everything, like my life is over.
yeah, okay,
So yeah, like looking back at all these like crazy experiences, because I think we both have been making music for like more than 10 years,
yes,
and we
yes,
have lots of stories to share, very like embarrassing stuff, but I feel like it's important to kind of go through these to have these kinds of experiences,
yeah,
because then you're just you don't get as scared if something happens. You just
yeah,
find a
completely,
solution,
yeah.
right, to kind of overcome this.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
something happens on the gig, I really don't care.
I mean, I do still
I mean,
care,
I also
but
scare, but I know that like people won't eat me.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
nobody will think I'm a
Mhm.
failure, or it's just like
Mhm.
people will just think, oh, something happened.
Yeah.
That's it, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
you just become stronger.
Yeah.
But plus, like you also have to fail many times to understand why your computer stopped. Like
Yeah.
and and there are so many different things that can happen. Like
Mm.
for example, my computer stopped because apparently I had the HHD hard like
Mhm.
disk back
Yeah.
then, and then when I played on a big stage, the
Mhm.
subwoofer was
Yeah.
like making not like it was shaking it,
Mhm.
and it just
Oh
couldn't
man.
handle it,
Yeah.
and you
Shit.
would never find out
Yeah.
until you
Yeah.
actually played on a huge stage. So
Yeah,
later on, I
definitely.
was like putting like pillow under my
Mhm.
computer. And then now of course we don't have even HHD discs
Yeah.
anymore, but yeah, you learn every time.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes kind of making mistakes works out for the best.
Mm.
Like, because I feel like there have been so many instances throughout like my music making journey where I was working on a song and maybe I had one idea in mind, but then just purely because I pressed something wrong,
Yeah,
like it created this interesting effect or something. And I was like,
yeah,
okay, wow, that's actually cool. And you kind of discover the software or whatever you're using, like be it a synthesizer or something else, by kind of using it wrong,
yeah, and that's
and that
that's
creates kind of this,
that's the
yeah,
beauty of a
yeah,
beginner's luck, or just beginner's, yeah, charm.
mm,
That yeah, how many times, like when I started, I didn't know what those knobs mean. It's just
yeah.
like, you just try to make something
Yeah,
happen, and it sounds cool, then it sounds cool. But
yeah.
yeah, maybe when you think about like some kind of rules,
Mhm.
or like production rules, like this shouldn't be allowed or something. But
Mhm.
uh, but also that's the fun about production. Like everything is allowed until it sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like there are so many artists who have like already broken the rules, and I believe that like it's better to make mistakes and make something shitty than to not
Mm.
make anything at all, because then you
Yeah,
will
of
never
course.
make anything. And I feel like what we yeah, what we can like as well talk about is this kind of fear of starting something or doing
Mm.
something, right? And I
Yeah,
think that's what most beginners have, like this block of
yeah.
starting something. So yeah, and I guess like Minty and I were just talking, like just chatting one day about all of our experiences and
Mm.
all kind of sharing our kind of little tips and tricks and hacks with each other. And we thought that it would be cool to kind of share it with people who want to learn about
Yeah.
music production, songwriting, and just making music in general. And I think what's kind of unique, maybe, or interesting about our duo is that we have someone who has been like making music and learning music since a very young age, like
Yeah, 7 years
kind
old. Yeah.
of following a more, let's say, what you would call a traditional path. And
Yeah.
you have that kind of knowledge
From schools.
from schools
Yeah,
as well.
traditional knowledge, which
Yeah.
is not necessarily better.
Yeah,
Just maybe
but
more organized.
yeah, and you have like a foundation, and plus you went on to study at Berkeley, which is like,
Yeah.
you know, the mecca of
Yeah, that was
music
cool. That was cool.
education. Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
I can maybe say a few things about it because that
Mm.
was like a very cool experience. And yeah, so I was there like a few years ago and I did my master's, and before that I was also like a bedroom music producer. I mean, I
Mm.
was doing freelancing already a little bit,
Mhm.
but and I was also playing piano, but it was Berkeley was completely different approach when it comes to production.
Yeah.
I could touch all of the equipment, be in the
Mm.
studio, learn, also see other music producers, because before that, okay, I was a musician, but I was usually alienated
Yeah.
and I was just sitting alone, making everything alone.
Mm.
And it just like opened my eyes for literally collaboration and for like other people, how
Mm.
everybody like approaches things differently, the mentors, the teachers, and
Mm.
everybody also from all around the world bringing their own music cultures into
Mm.
their music, which yeah, I think that was the best thing.
Mm.
And yeah, now we are here,
Yeah.
and I feel I got back to the same point that I'm also
Mhm.
sitting in the studio
Yeah.
alone,
Yeah.
and it's not fun. I mean, it's fun up to a point,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Mhm.
but I don't want to be alone like all the time. I want to share my knowledge with others.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to just give people this
Just
energy,
jam with
just jam, and inspire others,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
just like only produce,
Mhm.
just I don't know, just to get some money out of it. I mean, that's not
Mm.
what is it about for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of, I feel like technology and especially AI is kind of isolating us and making us kind of more into solo musicians or artists even
Mm-hmm.
more. And I think it's even more important these days to kind of reach out to people, to collaborate, to make something together, because
Yeah.
music at its core is a communal act. And I feel like this is what we want to kind of create, a space where you not only learn about like the technical side of things of production and techniques,
Mm-hmm.
but also have a chance to meet other like fellow producers, musicians
Yeah.
from different genres. Because like the more you learn about the different approaches to how someone
Mm-hmm.
writes their music,
Yeah.
the better you get at writing your own music.
Yeah, and more people you
Mhm.
meet, you get inspired. Yeah, and more
Mhm.
people you meet, you see different cultures, different
Yeah.
approaches, different motivation, and you kind
Mhm.
of compare yourself, but it doesn't have to be in a bad way, you
Mhm.
rather like cheer for each other.
Yeah.
And like I had this education, but you also went through this like alone, and you also had to figure it out
Yeah,
like by yourself,
yeah.
which also actually also it's a huge value, because like you
Mm.
didn't have it like on a plate, let's say.
Yeah, I can definitely share like my experience of doing it the sort of DIY way without having like, I don't have a musical like traditional musical training. It was mostly just learning by doing and
Mm.
by kind of asking other people how they do stuff, and by listening to the music that I loved and trying to kind of deconstruct it, and then kind of yeah, kind of like gather it kind of back again, constructed back in my own way.
Mm.
And yeah, I've always been kind of interested in collaborating with different, not only like producers, but also people from other fields like dancers or visual artists, because you always learn something. And even if you don't necessarily have the same vision, like there you kind of sometimes have to go deeper and
Hmm.
kind of challenge yourself, because if
Yeah,
you
of course.
stay in your bubble, you won't get as creative as you can
No,
be.
definitely, definitely. So, yeah, and I think we also want to talk about music a bit more like holistically,
Yeah.
like listen to music together, like analyze it,
Mm.
because I feel, yeah, you go on a dance floor, you listen to stuff,
Mhm.
but when you don't have people to like challenge your thoughts
Yeah.
with, then like it's maybe, I mean, maybe it's not the worthless, but
Mhm.
like it's always good to share and like have feedback.
Mm.
So that's what we want to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. And so what we want to offer, what's coming, are like different kinds of workshops and master classes on production,
Songwriting,
songwriting, mixing.
mixing, sound design,
Mhm.
everything you would like to learn, we are open
Yeah.
also.
Also,
uh
collaborative meetups where you can meet
yes.
other producers. We all know how producers are kind of shy,
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
introverted. So we want to create kind of a special kind of meetups where you can
Yeah,
meet other people
we
and kind
can
of
date
jam.
other
Oh
musicians.
no. Is that a good idea?
No, I mean date in terms of like professional
Yeah,
dating, like
yeah.
finding partners. I mean, you can do whatever you want after hours.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but watch this space. Yeah, comment, subscribe, share,
Yeah,
and come to our events and workshops. We'd love to see you.
yeah, and thank you, Koi Music, for using this space.
Yes, thank you, Koi Music.
Yeah, ciao, ciao.